Hi guys, this is Erika at Create Your Future and Little Prince. And I just want to remind you about our contest that we're running. We're giving away 3 coaching sessions once we reach 100,000 subscribers. All you have to do to participate is make sure that you're subscribed to our channel, like any of our videos, and share a story of something that you have manifested consciously using the law of assumption. And today I just wanted to talk about the something super important for manifesting. I think for me, the main thing for manifesting is really reminding ourselves that we are the operant power. I want you guys to take that power back. Own the power that is within you, right? Knowing that everyone in my reality has 0 free will. I have 100%, right? And knowing that everyone has to conform to whatever I'm thinking of myself and I'm thinking of them, or assuming of myself and assuming about them, right? I think there is a lot of power in knowing that. And from that place of power, I like to imagine myself like I am either the queen of my castle or a CEO of a company, knowing that someone with that power, I know that every single person in my reality, in my company, or in my kingdom will always say yes to me because I'm the queen or I am the CEO of the company, right? So it's important to know that everyone will always say yes to me. So this is how it goes. For example, if I tell my specific person, you love me and adore me, he will conform to that and say, yes, I do. I love you and adore you. But also, if I assume or if I think that my specific person is not interested in me, my specific person will also say, yes, I'm not interested in you, right? So I think for me, like, that really clicked in my mind, and it's really easy to know, okay, if I think that that person that I'm interested in doesn't love me, is not attracted to me, is not interested in me, they will say yes to me. They will conform to that assumption that I have in my mind. So is it something that I really want? Maybe I'm already experiencing it, right? I'm already experiencing that reality. So if I don't like it and I don't want to continue to experience more of that, I have to change that in my mind, knowing that they will always say yes to me. So this whole time, they conform to me, thinking they're not interested in me, they don't love me, they're not attracted to me, right? So I know that it was a creation of me, because everything is always a creation of our thoughts and assumptions and fears, etc. So now knowing that everyone says yes to me, and knowing that what I'm experiencing came out of me and it was just a thought and assumption and they conformed, now I change it in my mind and I say, okay, if I've been experiencing rejection from this person, I don't want that anymore. So what I have to do is change what I'm telling myself and what I'm telling them in my mind, knowing that they will always say yes to me, and say, okay, now you love me, you adore me, you're so committed to me, right? And now I know that that person has to conform. They will say yes to me, and all I have to do is persist in that story of they love me, or he loves me, he adores me, he's so committed to me, whatever it is that you want from that person. You just have to tell yourself the story in your mind, right? Persist in it until it hardens into facts, until you start experiencing it from that person. I think to me it really clicked, and it helps me manifesting consciously. So it's something that you guys can try. They always say yes to you. So what orders are you giving from that place of power, right? Always make sure also that you're on the pedestal, because if we're thinking, oh my God, like, he is so amazing, he's gorgeous, but who will pay attention to me, right? You put them on the pedestal and you're down here. It's not like you're gonna put them down, right? But I want you to be on the pedestal and say, I am amazing, I'm wonderful, I'm a great catch. That's why they wanna be with me. Instead of thinking, oh, I really wanna be with them, I really want them to call me, like, I really wanna date them, right? Change the roles and say, no, they are the ones that really wanna be with me. They are the ones that want to commit to me. They are the ones that are always reaching out because I'm wonderful. Who wouldn't want to be with me? Who wouldn't want to reach out? Who wouldn't want to date me? Who wouldn't want to marry me? Right? Change the roles and assume they are the ones that really want you because you're wonderful, you're amazing, you're a great catch. See? And then now I know that Valentine's is coming. Test this power that you have. If you want to be in a relationship with someone by Valentine's, start playing with your mind. Start telling them, oh, they're gonna, for example, if you're not in communication with them, start thinking like, oh, they're reaching out to me because they want to go out with me on Valentine's. They want to date me before Valentine's. They want a relationship with me because I'm wonderful. Of course, they're gonna ask me out on Valentine's, right? Play with that. And something that I just remembered yesterday that happened to me. I know that for me deadlines are kind of tricky because I don't want you guys to start worrying about the time, like, oh my god, like I only have 3 weeks and I haven't heard from them, right? Then you will be thinking from lack. So I don't really like deadlines, but something that really helped me to manifest with the deadline, I remember that I was not with this person. I was not in a relationship with that person. I had broken up. Of course, I created it. And then, but I really want to be back with them. So we had seen the first movie, the It movie, the one with the clown. We watched the first movie together. So I really wanted to be back with this person. And I'm like, okay, I don't care how this is going to happen, but we're going to go watch the movie number 2 together. I don't know how, I don't care how, but it's gonna happen. So what I did, I created a scene in my mind where I was sitting right next to this person in the movie theaters. In the movie theater, we were holding hands and we will kiss each other, right? You know, right before the movie started. I played this in my mind quite a few times, right? But like knowing, yes, from that place of power, yeah, that's gonna happen. I've always been a really stubborn person. At least that's what my mom used to call me, that I was very stubborn. And I guess I am. And something that is super important to me, that I am stubborn, but I'm like, I don't care how it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. That's always been my mentality. So that's what I said. I don't care how. I remember I used to see this person on the streets and they would be like they would treat me like they didn't know me. Of course, it was a horrible feeling. So I know you guys, like if you're going through a similar situation, I know it hurts. I know it's painful, right? But persist and say, oh, I don't care. I don't care what I'm seeing. I don't care how they're treating me. Like hold on to that reality that you want, knowing that they will always say yes to you, and persist in that, and with your thoughts, with your imagination, and saying, this is mine. Of course it's gonna happen. So again, going back to my story, I remember this person will ignore me, but I didn't care. I'm like, he's gonna be back. We're gonna be back together, and we're gonna be back together before this specific date. I think it was, I don't remember when the movie came out. It was a special holiday, but I remember saying like, we're gonna go watch that movie together. Or maybe it wasn't a special holiday, but it was just the fact that I just wanted to be back with them. So I persisted in that, and all of a sudden the person reached out. And then, long story short, we got back together, we went to the movies, and that's what actually happened. We were in the movie theaters, we were holding hands, and we kissed each other. You see, like your imagination creates. And apply what I have applied. Like, no matter how it's gonna happen, I know it's gonna happen. I don't care how it's gonna happen. Remember that it's not our job to know how things will happen. Our job is to say, decide what we want to experience, right? Persist in our minds, affirm, script, imagine, whatever it is. Everything is an affirmation. Scripting is an affirmation, which is just a thought, and your thoughts create. Scripting, imagining, just saying it, right? Everything is an affirmation, which is the thought, and thoughts create. So just be very persistent in that, and it will happen. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, I was very stubborn. Okay, yeah, it's not our job to find out how things are gonna happen, because sometimes we're thinking, for example, money. We think that money just has to come from my boss, or if we're married, right? Like, oh, money like can only come from my husband because he's the one that works and he's the one that provides. Then you're limiting how it's going to happen. But there is multiple possibilities of how things can come for you. Our minds are not, they don't have the capacity to see the multiple possibilities of how things can come to us. So it is not your job, it is not our job to find out how it's going to happen. Just know it will happen. Have faith in your power. And I have another story of something that happened to me, and when things seem to be impossible. Well, I have a couple of stories, but maybe I'll do the shorter one. I think I've shared this story with you guys before, but I applied for a job, and I always said that job is going to be mine. I don't care how it's going to happen, but that job is mine. So I just persisted in that. There was not an opening for the job, but I didn't care. I just knew. So out of the blue, there was an opening for the job. So of course I applied with that mentality, like, yeah, that job is mine. Now, I didn't have the qualifications for the job, like the education and what else? The education and the experience. I think they needed some time, like, I don't know how many years of experience, but I'm like, I don't care, that job is mine. So I applied for the job and I didn't get it. But I was like, I don't care, that job is for me. I persisted. I could have reacted to the reality like, oh, of course I'm not gonna get it, like it's never gonna happen, things always happen to me, right? I did not allow myself to think that. I was persistent, I was stubborn. I'm like, I don't care how it's gonna happen, but it will. So out of the blue, they called me and they told me, Erika, we have interviewed a bunch of candidates and they don't have what you have. Like, we really love you, we really want you to work for us, and we are going to adjust the requirements for you to get the job. And I got the job. So you see, like, if I had limited myself in my mind, like, no, this is never gonna happen, I don't have the qualifications, they already told me no, right? Then I would have limited, and I wouldn't have not got the job. But I was like, I don't care how it's gonna happen, it's mine. The same thing happened with our relationship when I was back in Mexico, and my ex-husband was from the United States. Well, he's from the United States, and so I was in Mexico, he's in the United States. I did not have a visa, and now in order for a Mexican citizen to get a visa, for a U.S. visa, you have to have something that tells the embassy, like, you're gonna come back to your country, you're gonna go back to Mexico. So you have to have money in the bank, you have to have like a job, or you have to be like in college, or right, something that brings you back. Well, I didn't have any of that. But again, stubborn Erika, I was like, I don't care. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna be with my back then boyfriend in the United States. I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna go there. I don't care how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. So of course I applied the first time for the visa, they said no. Of course it hurt, right? But I was like, I don't care how it's gonna happen, but we're gonna be together. Again, I could have limited myself and said, well, it's never gonna happen, I'm never gonna get the visa, I'm sure he's gonna date someone else, right? Like, I'm just gonna break up with him. But no, I did not allow myself to go that route. I was like, no, I don't care how, but it's gonna happen. So I applied the second time for the visa. They said no again. Again, I could have said, okay, I'm done, bye, break up with him. I did not allow myself to think that way. So I didn't limit the possibilities of how it could have happened, right? So I'm like, I don't care, it's gonna happen. Yes, I cried, it hurt, it was not good, you guys, because I really wanted to be with him. So anyways, stubborn me, I was like, something's gonna happen, I don't care how, but we're gonna be together. And of course it had to be here because of his job, I had to move here. So out of the blue, one of my cousins worked for a travel agency for like a German travel agency, and she's like, hey Erika, do you want to go with me to Switzerland? Like free, everything was gonna be free. I just needed some money for like food and like, you know, transportation there, like the buses to go, you know, sightseeing. I was like, I don't really want to go, but like, okay. Like actually my ex-husband was like, why don't you go? Maybe if you go and the embassy, like when you try to get the visa again, when they see that you have a stamp on your passport, they'll see like, okay, she left the country, but she came back. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. So I used to live in Mexico City. My cousin lived in Cancun. So I had to travel to Cancun, and then from Cancun, we went to Switzerland. Well, I had the greatest time in Cancun. And then of course, we went to Switzerland. From there, we went to Germany. We went through Austria, I think. Anyways, I had an amazing time. I barely spent any money, right? Because we were gonna stay at one of my cousin's friends' place, so we didn't pay for a hotel, nothing. It was amazing. I come back to Mexico after my trip, and then I applied for the visa a third time, and guess what happened? They just looked at my passport. They're like, okay, granted. I was so shocked. But you see, like I did not limit myself of how it was gonna happen, and out of the blue, I get the invitation to go to Switzerland, not even the United States, right? To Switzerland, and out of that, it came out that I was able to get the visa, and of course, I moved here. I got married, and then the rest is history. So it's just an example for you guys to see how things can come from many different avenues, and it's not our job to find out how it's gonna happen. Okay, well, I don't want to make this video any longer. Just going back, remember that your thoughts create, own your power. From that place of power, tell people, right, how you want them to conform in your reality, because they will always say yes to you. So, and also, like if you want to manifest something in a time crunch, for example, Valentines, or it doesn't matter, just play with your imagination and it will happen. Just persist. But again, don't be limiting yourself of, well, how is it gonna happen if I haven't heard from the person in a year? It doesn't matter. Just say, oh, it's gonna happen. I don't know, I don't care how, but it's gonna happen. And persist, knowing that you are extremely powerful and that other people in your reality, they don't have free will. Okay guys, if you need help with your specific situation, all the links are provided below. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.